Yeah, y'all know what it is. It's your guy EDI, and you back with the Outlaw Show, man. Special edition, special guest in the building. One of my homeboys, one of my partners that I absolutely love and respect. The way he handled himself in his business, the way he show love. You know, this man came to the ATL and performed for free, hosted for free for Tupac and Tupac's mother. Always show love to Tupac's homeboys, myself and Napoleon, especially. Never ever, never seen him doing for clout, man. He just handled himself with respect. Extremely funny, comedic legend. So many movies, so many tours. I can go on and on, but I'm gonna get into this interview right now, man. Before I get long-winded, man.
Thank you, Edie, man. Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Nah, I mean that. I mean that.
Sincerely, man.
That.
You know what I mean? Coming from
solid,
me,
not salad, like Photo said.
But hey, man, the respect is mutual. You know what I mean? And but thanks for having me, man. You know,
thanks for taking time out your schedule and coming and sit down with us at the Outlaw Show.
Yes,
man.
Sir, the Outlaw Show.
Mike Epps, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Yeah. So, Mike.
Yes, sir.
I'm about to ask you a lot of questions. Not a lot, but I'm about to ask you some questions that, you know, I know the answers to, but for my audience, I need them to know.
Right.
Because there's a lot of comedians out here, and there's a lot of people that have been doing this for a long time. But you in rare air, as they say.
Rare air.
When did you know that you had this gift to do comedy?
You know what, man? I think, you know, as a kid, sometimes, you know, I think all of us are unsure of what our purpose is. You know, especially as a kid traveling. I just remember fond memories of, because I got a lot of brothers and sisters, it's like 7 of us. And my mother used to introduce all of us with a talent. My big brother played football and karate. I had another brother that was a karate dude. My sister used to sew. I had another brother that was an artist and another brother that was a break. I mean, they all had talent. And when my mother used to introduce it, and she used to get to me and they say, well, who was that right there? And she says, oh, that's Michael. And I didn't understand what that was, but my talent was, I was a comedian at the time, but you know, coming up as a kid in a black neighborhood, or in a family, they call it disruption. Like, it didn't have a type, like, I guess they couldn't see as a kid, oh, he's a comedian. They was like, this is disruptive, you know, so I think that was my way of finding out I was funny. Then when I got older, I had stuff I would say that I knew worked. By the time I got to high school, I knew I could walk up to some girls and say some shit, and they So in my head, I was like, I was doing comedy and didn't know it, you know. But I learned it real early.
My mama used to, you know, because the teachers. Malcolm won't shut up. He won't. So you would be in the class again, huh?
A class ass. A class.
You can't sit there and just
a class.
That's
a good one.
Class.
Not a class clown, but a class.
Nah.
It was hard to sit in them classrooms and not have fun, man.
It was torture, because when you creative, your mind is always, you know what I mean?
Somewhere else.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Man, you rep Indiana.
I rep Indiana, man.
Some where they come from and then go to LA or New York and then they just start claiming it.
Yeah.
You always rep. Talk about growing up in Indiana. What was that like?
Well, you know, Indiana is.
I've been to Indiana.
Yeah, you know, I always say this, man. You know, I at one point I always wanted to do a coalition, a group of men that were not from major cities, to show that there's real everywhere. 100%. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 100%. Some of the brightest, some of the sharpest guys came from small towns and rural areas. And that's how I've always felt, man. You know, I've always felt that way. I've always felt like Um, I shouldn't have. I've always had an edge of telling somebody where I was originally from, no matter how they felt about it. Because you know, if you tell somebody you from a certain place and you in a certain place, they might look at you like, what the, you know, they might underestimate you. They might feel like they can be away or feel away, you know. So it's really walking on the edge when you tell somebody you from a smaller place, especially not a major city.
Nah, for real. Because they sleep on them small towns, and them small towns will turn you upside
Be
down
better,
if you ain't
boy.
careful.
What?
I lived in Minnesota for a little while, so I know what Midwest living is like. And
Minnesota off the chain,
off
man.
the chain,
God
man.
damn, they wild
St.
out
Paul,
there.
Minneapolis, them Twin Cities, man. They ain't
Twin
playing.
Cities, huh?
Yeah.
And St. Paul don't like Minnesota.
Minneapolis,
yeah. They're the same. They the same people, man.
Right across the Mississippi River from each other, but
right.
Yeah, it go down in them small towns.
Yeah, so growing up in Indiana was it was cool, man. I can honestly say, you know, and what I learned as growing up as an older I got, most of us that were fortunate enough, we all had decent enough childhoods, even if we was poor. Back in the day, them neighborhoods was lit up. One block, I mean, people was hanging out. You know, you had a great time growing up as a kid, watching cartoons and karate movies and staying up late and staying over your cousin's house and fixing bikes and fixing inner tubes and shit. And I love that I had that part of my life, you know. And I thank my mom and them for giving me that part of my life. And it helped me because once I got out, I got older and I got up in age. And I ventured off and started around in the streets and powder and hanging with the niggas and all that. But it taught me that whatever my mama and them taught me as a kid, the class that I did have and the that I had, I could always see the difference between me and another person. And I'm like, I thank my mother for this because I ain't 100% a dog. You know what I mean? Like, I had enough class and still enough self-respect that I don't care how deep they going with shit. I ain't going that way. You know what I mean? Even though I was with you, certain shit I just wasn't gonna do.
Nah, 100%. Thank God for strong mamas, man.
Straight up.
I know whenever I was about to get into some dumb shit, I would hear her voice in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we here.
Yeah, 100%.
And
I say my life, I tell her all the time. She took me out of New York, moved me to Minnesota. She was like, cause I seen what
you was in Brooklyn.
I was in Brooklyn. And I love being in the street.
Wow, you was in Brooklyn.
In the street.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, I see where you at. Let me get you on up out of here.
You loved it. You still ended up in the street.
Still. But I had that whisper.
Yeah, that whisper.
That's why I say thank God for
that talent. And that talent.
And I took my talent with me.
Your talent to say, your talent was good. That's one thing about, when I listen to the Outlaws, man, every one of you guys had your own voice. That was what was incredible to me. Because you could hear a group of guys and sometimes you can't decipher who's who. You had your own shit. You had your own voice. When E.D. popped up, I knew that was E.D. When Gaddafi, I knew that was Gaddafi. When there was, Castro, I knew the sound. Y'all all had a different sound. That's why I always said, boy, Pac, he was incredible grabbing those guys. And I love that y'all was from Jersey. I love that he was like, y'all was from different places, like, because they couldn't put their finger on it. And it was speaking from some street shit. By the time y'all got to California, they was like, what the f? Because the East Coast was just so totally different when it came to the streets. Yeah. It was a whole different code, you know what I mean? So it came out in the rap.
And I had got exposed to a lot of West Coast shit, down South Texas, Ghetto Boys and shit when I left New York. Because a lot of my partners was from Chicago. And they was listening to Too Short. They was listening to, like I said, the Ghetto Boys.
Yes.
And, a lot of that. And so that opened my world up to a whole nother style of hip hop that I wasn't even
Because you was all New York, bro.
I was all New York. I was listening to Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One,
Right.
and all them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you couldn't tell me nothing about them. And then I hear Too Short.
You said what the hell
NWA
is
talking
that?
about the police.
You said,
And,
"Ooh, shit."
I remember I brought that first NWA tape back to New York. And Castro Daddy, rest in peace, Uncle TC, man. He said, cut that shit off, all that goddamn cursing. Don't play that in my house. We had to sneak and listen to it because he didn't.
Y'all was playing
that cussing
that
was
shit.
happening on rap like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got a bitch is a bitch. As soon as he heard that shit, he lost and came running out the room like, get that.
It was crazy. Yeah, let's cut that off. It was a disrespectful song, man. It was disrespectful, man.
But
and
they
we liked it.
We loved it. They was saying stuff that I heard in my everyday life. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I had
hear it
heard
on the
this,
song.
but on the record, that was different. That wasn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We jumping all over the place because, like I said, man, we just like to sit around and talk. And this is an interview, but it's more like a conversation. So don't expect it to be all formal and questions because sometimes we just
y'all
wanna
listening to two real brothers talk some good shit.
Yeah,
Music, life, family, everything.
100%. But I got to go back to Indiana because I seen something real dope that you was doing for the city, man.
Thanks, man.
And I don't feel like it get enough. It don't get enough light. You know, we get plenty of light when we doing bullshit, when we out
All the
we
time.
performing. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you do that, you doing like literally buying the block back, buying the neighborhood back.
Yeah.
That has to be talked about, man.
Thanks, man.
What inspired you to do that? And because you made it, Mike. You know what I'm saying? You beat the odds, man.
Beat the odds,
You can go ahead and live your life and wouldn't nobody be mad at that.
Yeah.
What made you feel like that was something you wanted to do and had to do?
Well, you know, E.D., and I always convert and give a praise to my mom because back in the day, you know, my mother being a single mother, having all those kids, you know, we had a hard time. You know, we never owned our houses. We lived in rent, owned houses, neighborhood landlords. So you know, we moved all the time. Every time we got in the house and we painted it and got it together, we stay in it for a couple months. And my mother's like, "Oh, we gotta move." I said, "Oh man." So I grew up. Me and my brothers, man, we grew up really, really poor. We had to move a lot of times out of our houses. And I'll never forget my mother was sitting in the back seat. We was in a cab. Because my grandmother's house, she owned her house. Everybody in the family, she had 10 kids herself. So everybody in the family that whenever they had hard times, they moved to grandma's house. She had a big house. My aunties, whoever had hard times, come to grandma's house and regroup, get shit together. Stability, yeah. So we on our way to my grandmother's house. We had a big garbage bag with some clothes in it. My mother sitting on one side. And I just remember her just like, whew. And I said, "Mama, I'm gonna buy all these raggedy houses one day." I told her, I said, "I'm gonna buy all these." I thought I was gonna do it with some dope money, but that didn't work. I failed at that. You know what I mean? Wasn't that great at that? So I end up getting in show business and getting famous. And I remember I told my mother, I said, "Mama, when I first did next Friday, I said, 'Mama, what you want?' She said, 'I don't want nothing but a wash and dry.'" That was crazy to my mother. I said, "I'm gonna buy you a house." She said, "No, you gonna fuck my Social Security up. If you know what I mean? you gonna fuck my little 700 up that I get every month." You know, so I bought my grandmother's original house. There was a guy that my grandmother sold it to because we were Jehovah's Witnesses. His name was Melvin Johnson. He sold the house. She sold the house to him. And he told my grandmother, "Anna, if you ever want that house back, I'll sell it to you." And I never forgot it. So I called Melvin when I got famous. I said, "Melvin, this is Anna's grandson, Mike." "Oh, man, I remember you, Mike." I said, "Man, you remember you told my grandmother if she ever wanted that house back, that she could get it. I want to buy it." He said, "Man, it's yours." So that was the first house I bought. I went and bought that house. Then I went and bought my childhood house. Somebody was in that. I went and knocked on the door and offered them more money than anybody probably would offer them and got them out of there. I started buying all the houses that we got kicked out of. And
that's cold.
Yeah, I went and started buying, and I bought them houses a long time ago. For some reason, that was the number one goal in my mind, in my head, was to go back to my hometown because I had unfinished business there. I don't care how famous I got or when I went to Hollywood, my hometown, my block was still on my mind. I said, I got some unfinished business in my hometown. I got to finish it up. I'm making some money and all kind of shit there. I cleared all shit up. That's what I did.
Cleared it all up.
Hell yeah. Chauvinist, yeah. I cleared it.
That's cold though, man. Like to be able to do that is a victory, man. That's a win. That's a win right there. Yep. I know that had to feel, good.
It did.
It's an understatement.
It was an understatement, E.D.
Yeah.
And I try to teach the kids that all the time. I said, young black men, go spend $5,000 on a lot in any city. You could spend $5,000 on a piece of land right now. If you got $5,000, you can find it. It might not be in California, New York, Florida.
Right.
But
it don't matter.
It don't matter. Just buy you some land and fly in that state or wherever you bought it at. Go take a chair and set it down in the middle of that field and set in it and take a picture. You own some soil. You got to own some kind of piece of land, man.
Nah, 100%. I just seen something with the great Jay Prince, Lil J.
Man, ain't that incredible?
He in Belize. You seen
Woo!
that?
That was inspiring, man.
It up. But I remember when we went to Houston and was with Rap a lot.
Yeah.
And he told us how much money he made selling hay. And he took us to his farm.
Yeah.
He said, I make $100,000-$200,000 a year just selling hay.
Yeah, he's incredible.
He had a farm with a house on it, no electricity in the house on the farm. You know what I mean? He said, I just come out here and think.
He was doing that when we was kids. The Ghetto Boy, Jay Prince. Yeah, Jay Prince is
over 20 years ago.
Yeah,
that I'm talking about.
He's definitely one of our black leaders when it comes to 1,000%. Information and inspiration.
1,000%.
Because he's been doing it a long time too as well.
Yes, indeed. Stayed solid the whole time.
Yeah, shout out to Jay Prince, man, OG, man. 1,000%. Always showing us and giving us hope that we can do it on a big scale.
Mm-hmm.
I just seen him on that when he was walking, talking about the coconut. Yeah, this is the coconut right here. And then we're going to take it, and all that going to be avocado. I can't wait for you to see it.
Straight like that. That's Jay.
Yeah.
Spot on. He talks slow, but he ain't slow.
No, he's not.
He ain't slow at all. Sharp. Man, the game change all the time, as they say, man. The game don't wait for nobody. Rest in peace, Nate Dogg. How do you manage to stay relevant and current? You know what I'm saying? As long as you've been doing it. It's comedians that started when you started. We don't hear about them
no more. You don't hear about them no more, yeah. You know what? I never ever. Sometimes I don't look at myself as in the business. I live a life as if I am a fan of it. And sometimes when I live a life of being a fan of the business, I can tell and I know what's good. Because I'm a fan of it, and I'm still a fan of. I take myself out of the place of being the artist in the business and I live my life sometime as a guy who gets up and go to work at the Jiffy Lube. That's like, oh man, that's man. Did you see Did you see LL on the? I try to stay in that mind frame, because it leaves me open for creativity. And it keep me fresh, and I don't look at the business like in a crabby way, like I'm in this business, man. And that shit is just keeping us from doing this. I just keep saying to myself that before you got in this business, man, you was having a ball. I did. Before I got in this business, man, I used to have a ball just being myself, and I was famous in my own right. And I still say to myself, if I wasn't in the business, I still, because I can look at guys who work construction and I'll say, hey man, boy, today is Friday. And if I say that to them, they, boy, shit, nigga, what you talking about? I'm finna get off and go get me a beer. Man, that's life to them. So I'm like, damn, if you,
joy.
Yeah, that's joy. If you can't enjoy simple life, it's gonna be hard living this entertainment shit, because
It's true.
that shit drive you crazy.
Shit drive you crazy if you let it. You ain't lying.
Shit.
That's a great outlook to have. You know what I mean? Especially all the years and all the work that you put in, but things is changing, man.
It is.
It's very sensitive, and you know, do you feel like you gotta walk on eggshells being a comedian nowadays, man? Because I seen a clip earlier today.
Yeah.
Archie Bunker, All in the Family.
That was crazy.
He was crazy in the mother.
As a mother.
Racist, sexist. He talking about how women. He talking about why the cave women was short and had big butts. so they couldn't.
This shit was on national TV.
Bro. He said this on TV and said they was short with big butts, so they couldn't run and make sure they had babies. And wow. And then the son came back and said, well, what about the man who was short with big butts? And he said, well, those was probably the first fact. It said that shit on TV.
Damn.
Nowadays, he be off the air. He be off the air before he can get home.
Before he can get home.
How do you deal with that, man, being a comedian? Because everybody's super sensitive nowadays, man.
I'm a welfare baby. I can't be banned.
Just get up.
Hell no. Who the You done told been told no his whole life no. You told me I couldn't get I ain't never been able to get in. They asked me about these parties. I said they was like, oh look, I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never was invited to none of this shit. That's crazy.
Me either.
I was never invited.
Yeah.
So I can't even be looked at as, oh well, you don't play the game. I don't never see. I don't know when the shit happened because don't nobody call me and say, hey man, you want to come to for whatever the reason that is, I'm gonna let it be that. You know, but that's the truth.
You know why. You know why. They already know. Nah, he ain't with
man. I couldn't.
That shit might end up in his next skit too on stage. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because one thing I love about you on stage is that your comedy remains timely. You stay, you know what I'm saying? I know you got
on the time.
You stay on the time, man. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like
sir.
You stay current, and I think that's one of the things that help you stay relevant. You don't be telling old jokes. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You got your jokes that's gonna work, but then you stay current.
Then the
like that Ice-T you did.
Shout out to Ice-T, OG Ice-T.
Shout out to Ice-T, man. One of the goats.
One of the goats,
Somebody I
man.
respect a whole lot. If you talk about how he come in and he say his one or two lines, that's a dead body.
He linked over a dead body the other night and said, yep, that's him.
But you got it spot on.
Boom, boom, boom. I love Ice-T, man. Yeah, man. Well, you know what? I see a lot of like comedian Godfrey, which is incredible. He's incredible. He does all them impressions, man. And I'm
the best Trump in my opinion.
Oh my God, can't nobody do it better than him.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, he does a lot of them. What's the dude? Jay Farrell, he's good.
Yeah, he's good.
But, you know, I got a couple guys that I do. You know, that ain't really my thing. But if I like somebody like Ice-T, I was able to get him because I've been listening to him since I was a kid. At 6 in the morning, I think I listened to that so many times that his voice just sank into my voice.
Triple OG, man.
Yeah.
Triple OG.
Triple OG.
Yeah.
See, that's what they didn't realize. I said, the Outlaws, they are of today, but I was just saying before the camera came on, y'all reminded me of like Curtis Mayfield and them in the rap game. Like y'all timeless too. Like not only were you timeless, y'all were ahead of y'all time. Y'all was talking about shit. I mean, like that Still I Rise, that Dear Mr. President, I'm writing all that shit. Like, I mean, like if you playing this shit right now, they like that shit match any president that ain't, you know what I mean?
Good. And that's a testament to that guy, T. Shakur, man, because he always used to tell us, man, the message, that's where the immortal shit came from. You know what I'm saying?
Immortal.
He was on some forever. Always thinking long range, like the message is gonna outlast us. You know what I mean? If we talking about shit, we talking about the shit that everybody else talking about, smoking and getting high and just we're gonna come and go with the rest of them.
That's right.
But if we talking about some that's timeless, we gonna live forever. You know what I mean? And because he was on what he was on, not really thinking he was gonna be around long, he was always on some forever. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get it at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna say we didn't get it at the time because we wanted to talk about the shit we wanted to talk about.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But then he'd come in the studio and then he'd be on some Baby Don't Cry. You know what I'm saying? And I remember the day we was working on that song, we sitting there sucking our teeth like, man, here we go with this. Keep your head up. You know, we want to talk about it. You know, we want to talk about that.
Deep, bro.
And he was like, I'm going to show y'all how to live forever.
That's deep,
this is some forever shit that I'm on.
That's deep.
And I can't thank him enough because he was right. Wow, he was spot on. But he ain't the only one.
Forever shit.
Forever shit.
Yeah, them songs are forever, man. Them songs is that Still I Rise album, man. It's still one of my I mean, them songs on there is just and Until the End of Time, incredible songs, man. That Machiavelli album, I mean, like, dude. I mean, and you know what was crazy about Tupac? If you played his, I don't give a damn. If you played that shit, it would just get in check. The spirit would just like, you know.
It bring a certain energy to the room.
It did. It just ran the bullshit away. It just made, because I around DJing a little bit.
I know. And I was about to bring that up. I saw you the other night.
And I get to playing that motherfucking Outlaw and that Tupac in there, and then, boy, I watched the whole room shift. You know what I'm saying? And it got to be one of them party joints, you know. But
yeah, you start thinking about their mama and
everything.
And shit that they ain't doing right, and you know what I mean. And shit.
That's good that he provoked, man. I tell people all the time, man, I got a soundtrack to my life. And Me Against the World, when I was in New York, young, being from Indiana, and didn't know nobody there, and I was listening to that on a Walkman, on a cassette tape. And I bought that Tower Records. Remember Tower Records? I bought this shit at Tower Records on 34th Street, right there on
I've been to that Tower Records before. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Man, and I had that Walkman on, man, and I was riding around New York, going from gig to gig, playing Me Against the World, and Lil Rah Rah. Remember Lil Rah Rah at the end?
Lil Rah Rah, straight from Harlem.
Oh man, that's
straight from Harlem. Man.
Yeah, how do you nigga? I'm 11.
Yeah.
Oh man, see shit
he
right
used to see Pac every day and ask, can he go to the studio? Finally, we was in a limo. Pac said, "Come on, get it."
He was bad, boy. That little nigga.
He was
really 11,
just a little kid on the block.
He said, "How do you look around?"
Anytime he see Pac, he'd run on Pac, give him some money. Try to stay out of trouble. You know, try to give him when you gonna take me to the studio? When you gonna take me? I said, "Come on, get in." All right, hold on. Let me tell my mama. And he came to the studio.
And he put that song. He had that little boy, and that song is incredible. It's just like. Outlaw. Oh man. And they had that's what I'm saying. At the end when he started, that's why I'm listening. I was like, Tupac was singing in Machiavelli. He started singing.
Yeah.
This before all these start singing in a song. That like in the life we live as the
He wrote that.
He was singing, man. Because
Yeah.
when you listen to it, I'm like,
He
this
wrote the
nigga-
How Do You Want It hook. All that's his pen.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He definitely had the gift for that melody. You know.
Because he
precursor
liked
to Drake
R&B
and all that
singers
shit.
too,
Yeah,
didn't he?
yeah. Because we listened to all of that, bro.
Yeah.
All the classic old school shit. You bring up Curtis Mayfield and you know what I'm saying? Like real black family. Marvin Gaye,
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's where y'all
Willie
got
Hutch, all of them.
Yeah.
We grew up on that. And he was listening to that every day.
It's like an old
Inspiration,
man.
like an old man. You know what I'm saying?
New Burst and all that shit.
All that. You know what I'm saying? But then
Gloria.
Pac pull out Sting and be listening to Sting too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
He had a white ear.
100%. He did.
That's what made him.
Just an expansive musical palette.
Yeah.
His musical palette was wide range.
Right.
Back to you though, Mike.
Yeah.
Because I am interviewing you.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying? I appreciate that love. I love how you love Pac and you love us, man. But we love you too, and I want to continue to give you your flowers.
I appreciate
You done
it,
played roles, a wider range of roles, man. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And that's acting. Comedy is one thing.
Yeah.
You done played Day Day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You heard about Richard Pryor, like, them is on two different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
What role was your most challenging out of all the roles you played?
I did a movie with Whitney Houston called Sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
And that might have been the most challenging one because, that character was really, really dark,
Cold.
really deep. I mean, and it kind of reminded me of my dad.
Mm.
And I just remember being in Detroit and it was cold and I had to wear that finger wave every day. And they put me up in this penthouse in Detroit, like on the east side. It was still kind of in the hood. And I was just living in that character. And I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was a woman beater and, he was
Sadistic.
Yeah, he was a man,
Yeah.
so I just did not like it. It just reminded me of too many dark things growing up. You know what I mean? But I challenged myself on it because it's acting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I got in it for, man, to challenge myself and to go places that I don't have to stay, but it's art,
Yeah. Some actors get stuck. You know what I'm saying? Like they call that method acting.
I can see though. I used to tease myself about that. I used to talk shit and be like, oh man, got stuck in the character and never snapped that. I didn't understand that until I started with it.
Mm-hmm. That's a real thing.
Oh man, that is real.
Yeah.
And you got to be a certain type of person, and your personal life, your view on your personal life is the only thing that can snap you out of it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because it feel good. That shit feel good. You can, and it goes back to like, I still talk about. I just did a special and I talked about people being in delusion, and I talked about how good it is to be in delusion sometimes because, you got to be out of your mind sometimes to succeed what you're trying to do. Because it looks crazy as to everybody. Sometimes yourself. You got to kind of be blissful. So like I told my kids sometimes, you don't have to live in your truth all the time. Become a character so that you can survive mentally. You have to survive. As long as it's positive and it's something that you think that you having a good time, put some clothes on, change your hair, go into a character. You might find yourself having a good time in that character. As long as you can snap back out. But that's what that is to me. That's what acting is I found myself sometimes escaping who I was so that I could, because sometimes I didn't want to think about my mother being dead. I didn't want to think about my dad being gone, my friends. And so I was like, let me just let me be delusional so I can
deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it helped.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. It made people look at me different. It's like, damn, man, I like this part of you. The whole time I'm just in a character because I'm like, you don't know I'm trying to escape this everyday shit that's stressing me out. Shit. I got glasses on with hair. I had braids. Whatever it took, man, to survive mentally, you know.
People wouldn't notice. People wouldn't know that looking at you on the screen. They just think, Mike is funny and he's a cold actor and we enjoying the presentation. They don't know you over there dealing with reality and this is your escape.
Yeah, because it's a price to be funny.
Mm-hmm. I remember Kobe Bryant said that when he was fighting that case. He said the game was a chance for me to get away from all that. I was only happy when I was on the court.
Damn. Only on the court. In the moment.
Busting for 50 at night.
As soon as shit's over with and he's sitting there sweating. Life right back in front of you. Like, hey, here I am. You got away from me on that court, but here I am again. Go dry off. Go take a shower. Come on back.
Reality.
Yeah.
Reality is back.
Yeah.
That was you talked about Sparkle, which is one of my favorite movies, both versions. A cold story, but that was Whitney's last movie.
That was Whitney Houston's last movie.
You got any fond memories of working with her? Like,
oh man, that's an East Coast girl right there.
Straight
Jersey, yeah, Newark,
Jersey, real Jersey.
Yeah, real Jersey.
They ain't know that until later on. She was for real Jersey.
She straight out of the bricks, huh? She was real, man. Whitney Houston, and such a a class act. You know, when I say classy to the T. She was really, really classy. And one thing that I noticed, she was a different person on a film set than she was in the music world. On the film set, she was a whole nother person. She was, poised, smart, on time, fresh, alert, ready to go. Because I think that was another passion for her. She was good. She was a great actress.
Yeah.
So I think that was like another, like Pac was.
Mm-hmm.
He was probably, when it came to that movie, he was like, damn.
I always say I think he was a better actor than he was a rapper. He was a cold rapper. But as far as acting, his potential
Juice
was limitless.
Get the
He just did that shit. I used to marvel how he just memorized a script and he'd be smoking all day and he ain't need them to be like, you know how they be like, line? I never seen Pac ask for a line.
That nigga that shit.
He knew that shit. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And he would you never seen him like really study or, you know what I mean? Like we ain't seen him rehearse. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? But he knew his lines and, you know what I mean? And, I know they got stories of him in his younger days.
Prepped himself, boy.
Was difficult, but them last two movies, Gang Related and Gridlock,
he was on point.
He was focused.
He was focused.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
So,
yeah, that's how Whitney was. They were the same in that way. You know, they could two different people in two different worlds. You know.
Yeah. Mike, you got a birthday coming up, man.
Yeah, man. I'm be 55, man. Double nickel, man.
Double nickel.
55.
You got plans?
Yeah, man. I want to invite you. I'm doing something Tuesday night at the Blue Note. I got a Zap. And,
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
I was just playing Zap.
Yeah, they gonna be there Tuesday night, man. You really invited.
I'm pulling up to that.
And it's a black tie thing. So just suit whatever black.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be nice, man. I'm trying to get DJ Quick, and I got Terrence Martin. He played jazz.
I know Terrence is.
So it's gonna be a good night, man. And I always say this, man. I got married. Shout out to my beautiful wife, Kyra. But I grew up Jehovah's Witness, so I don't celebrate birthdays. But my wife taught me the smarts of getting dressed. She taught me the importance of getting dressed and celebrating yourself. Yeah. So I told her, don't bring no cake out or none of that shit, because I be hearing the Jehovah people in my head like, you know better, nigga. You know your ass ain't got no business in there with them people with no. You better not eat that cake.
You ain't supposed to be having fun.
You ain't supposed to.
You ain't supposed to be enjoying this day.
What are you doing with that weed in your hand? You supposed to be knocking on doors, spreading the truth. Yeah, but yeah, man, I was Jehovah's Witness up till I was about 14 years old, man. And then
You used to knock on doors and
yeah, my mother, that was one thing that when I was a kid, we used to be outside playing, and my mother would say, "Come on, y'all come in the house," and we go in the house, and my mother put our little suits on. We used to have plaid suits, and boy, I don't care what we was before that happened, all that shit went away. We walk outside, we was mad in the mother. Me and my brother, we dressed like with little plaid suits. Yeah, I just told the nigga I was gonna hit him in the eye just early.
Yeah.
I beat you. Now we got the suits on. He's laughing like a motherfucker. I remember one time I told my mother, I said, man, please don't knock on that door. My buddy O'Shawn lived in the house. And we knocked on the door, man, and he came to the door. Oh, my God. He was laughing. I told my mother, man, I got to get out of this, man. I got to get out of the job with this thing. But
how you go to school the next day, man?
Man, it was tough, you know, and that was the thing, man. You know, back in the day, growing up how we grew up, man, I tell these kids now, they really got it easy. I mean, to be able to get a gun and shoot somebody, back in the day, you just got your whoop. That was it.
Straight like that.
Yeah, straight like that. Everybody didn't have access to guns. You know what I'm saying? You know, you could carry a knife to school or something like that, but man, I grew up back in the day, and kids jumping, you know, motherfuckers, you go to the skating ring. It's always been that pressure. That's why I always teach my son, man, you know, you make sure you pick and choose your partners wisely. Because when something go down, you want to make sure you with the right dudes. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be with the wrong niggas. Because I done seen both of them. I done been with the wrong niggas and been with the right niggas. So, make sure you choose your friends wisely, especially out here dating girls and around girls and shit, because that's where shit get cloudy at. Get jealous.
That's some good game.
You know what I mean? One thing leads to the next, especially when you in sports. Like I'm always in fear of like young brothers who play sports, who go to parties and got friends that's in the streets. Like you got to be careful with that because they can bring you in their world. And them street dudes, they'll get jealous of an athlete and the girl. Yeah, the girls usually like the street, but tonight the athlete's in the house, and I see a lot of brothers lose their life like that.
Mm-hmm. Because everybody's smiling, they ain't happy for you.
They ain't.
That's the truth, right?
They
there.
not.
You know what I mean?
They not happy for you. Smiling like y'all said, crocodile smile.
Mm-hmm. Sure enough, true story. And how did you navigate that being in this business? Because when you're on top, you know, everybody want to put their arm around you and cheer you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You know.
Well, you know what? One of my biggest assets has always been, I would show up by myself around wherever something was supposed to be, the fear was at. Wherever you ain't supposed to go, whoever you're supposed to be around. Man, I done lived in New York, I lived in LA. I done ran across all the bullies. I done ran across all the dudes who extort people. You know that. You know when you in the business, I'm talking about all of them. I done met every last one of them. I don't know how I did it, but I met all of them. And they all was one of my best attributes that I ever had, that I always held on, was that I was from Indiana. Mm-hmm. And I tried to trick several of them to come back to my hometown. Sure did. I tried to trick them because I already knew I was like tough in these certain areas and around. And I don't even who I seen that was a bully in any city that I seen them in. I swear to God, E.D., I would always catch them by themselves. And they was 100% different with me.
Totally different.
Swear to God. Yeah. Every motherfucker, I don't say names.
That's real talk.
I don't know how God did it, but if I seen the nigga, he was away with me in the club and blah, 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 blah. Cause that old bullshit fear factor shit, I don't know how, but I would always see by themselves and totally different.
Tone it down a little bit.
Just different.
Tone that down.
Yeah, just a different.
And that's true about you being by yourself, because I don't know how many times I done ran into you, Mike. You never got an entourage. I ain't never seen you with an entourage.
Ooh, that scares me. It scares me. I didn't did it before though. I didn't brought all my out and all that. So hell no, cause I can't control nothing. It feels, you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just remember when I was a kid, I didn't have no security, and my mother used to make us walk long ways to the store. And I remember we moved in one neighborhood. I said, Mama, I can't walk to the store. She said, why not? I said, boy, we in the neighborhood. These gonna try us. So we lived in the neighborhood, man. I went out the back door for a whole year in this neighborhood. They never knew I lived there. You know what I mean? And that was just me trying to survive, not being a punk, not being and that's what I tell kids too. I said, it ain't being a punk sometimes, dodging the smoke.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it ain't that you scared of them, you scared of what you gonna do. Cause you gonna lose either way. If you kill a nigga, you lost. If the nigga kill you, you lost.
Straight up.
So if I see you coming, nigga, I am gone. I'm gonna lose. I can't with you either way.
Yeah. Avoid the avoidable.
Avoid the avoidable.
Absolutely.
And
unnecessary.
They're unnecessary.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
If you can't avoid it, you gotta meet it head on. But
yes,
that's real game right there.
Ooh, Lord Jesus, I'm running. I don't want no smoke. And I'll never forget too, my father had a friend that was in Vietnam, and he said, hey Mike, don't never forget, man, all the cowards came home. And I didn't understand what he was talking about. He was saying in Vietnam, all the that was when that shit got to getting off, the was all the came home. He said them niggas that was
right,
all them got killed.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's easy to, it's smart enough to, you know, most of us out here trying to prove something to a bunch of people don't know anyway. Well,
it don't even matter.
Don't even matter.
Don't
that
even
shit all
matter.
in your head.
Yeah. Don't even matter. Cause they trying to figure it out just like you.
Just like you. They lost too. Lost in the sauce. See, back in the day, if you go to like a club like the Tunnel, it was really like a club with music, but it was really a mental patient party. Yeah. And just to sit back and watch street showing off for each other. It's like, whoa, these niggas is in here. They ain't even looking at.
No.
These niggas trying to make sure this see that he's a real nigga. Oh Lord, you lost y'all.
Nah, I learned that living in the ATL, because you know you go to the strip club and in the beginning you think throwing the money to get the attention of the women, but then I realized is just doing that for other niggas.
They competing with other.
These niggas just doing that for other niggas.
They compete with each other.
Yeah, buy 50 bottles, now they buy 100 bottles. You know what I'm saying? This throw 10,000, now this throw 20,000.
And you know what the strip club was doing? They have a in there that work for the club. They come in there and throw the money.
Oh yeah.
And make throw the money.
He the stick.
Yeah, he the stick. So the girls can pick all the money up and take it right back in the back. And they take the same money he threw out there. Because he ain't doing them trying to make say, you ain't got no motherfucker. Because they all competing for the girls anyway. Throwing the money. The girls get all their money, take it back in the back. He's backing it up. Yeah. Go back, go get the money, go back out there. They out there throwing money again. Go out there and out throw them again. He been throwing the same ones all night.
He just recycling it.
He's recycling the money, man.
Yeah, just getting everybody amped up like I got to throw more money.
Yeah, you ain't got no money.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times, you ain't got no money. I got way more money. Here, man, go get 10,000 ones, man. Yeah, man, it's all a trick. That's
only on the Outlaw Show can you get this kind of game. I hope y'all paid attention. You know what I'm saying? This is real lessons for you out there, man, because, you know, it's a lot to be learned.
It's a lot to be learned, man. It really is. Especially with our young brothers out here, man, because a lot of them are lost And you know, the stuff that they think is cool, the life that they think is cool, the life that they choose, and you know, man, they just don't understand.
Ain't no more big homies, man. I'm glad we in our 50s. I'm 51. And so I be thankful every day, not just to still have life and breath in my lungs, but
You a young
I'm
51,
here and
brother.
I'm able to give it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm able to give it out because it's a lot of, and the big homies that stood around, some of them ain't solid, man. They ain't really giving a good game
No.
like I had. I had real
That's right.
solid OGs
That stayed on you.
That stayed on me, but was telling me the truth. You know what I mean? Would tell me the truth about life and myself when I was slipping, when I was.
Tell you
know
about
what I'm
yourself
saying?
too.
Oh yeah.
You ain't want to hear.
100%, man. Shout out to my uncle OG, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, laced me up tight and was brutal with his critique. You know what I'm saying?
That
Because
shit hurt.
oh yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Brutal,
Tighten up.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's tough love, man. Don't
got that no more.
No.
It's everybody's sensitive. I go back to that. It's super
They all
sensitive.
sensitive, yeah.
You know what I'm
Can't
saying?
say
These
certain.
youngsters is very sensitive.
Yeah, they are, man. But like you said, our generation, a lot of us dropped the ball, and that's because a lot of us just don't want to grow up, man. You gotta take the position that you become. You can't go make up for some shit that you didn't do, because then you in a different lane. You in the youngsters lane. You know, if you didn't get a chance to do it, don't worry about it. Do something else. You know, and that's a part of, like you said, you gotta grow up, man. I'm 55, I'm embracing 55. I ain't dyeing my hair right
I know you
here.
said I'm a young 55, but you a young 55 too, Mike.
Think so, man?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Ooh, Lord, I
I've
feel
been looking at some of them old cats,
That
like
damn body
look
keep-
at old videos, shit of like the OJs and shit, and them was looking older than we look now. They was like in their 30s.
But you know what? They was living hard back then.
It must have been. It must have been harder back then. Partying
That
too hard.
was hard.
They got the George Jefferson and they in their 30s. Like, whoa.
I don't know why that life like that, man. Motherfuckers look old back then.
I think hip hop keep us young.
It
too.
is.
I think hip hop culture keeps us young, and you've been so connected with hip hop since the beginning of your career. Obviously, from working with Q,
Yeah.
and different hip hop artists. You know, talk about your love for hip hop, man, and not just Pac and the Outlaws, but your love for hip hop and how it influenced your comedy.
Oh yeah. Well, of course I was born in 1970, so I am part of the birth of hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, Sugar Hill Gang, first song, Rapper's Delight, first album that I ever owned. My mother bought me a 45 single. So, man, I go all the way back to Schoolie D. Man, I listen to KRS-One. But I mean, like I listen to groups that people didn't even know about. My brother John was when I tell you, I thought my brother John was. You would have thought he was from New York. He lived in Indiana, but he was a hip hop connoisseur. I mean, back in the day, they had a festival called the Fresh Fest.
Yeah.
And the Fresh Fest had Run DMC and Fat Boys and Public Enemy.
Huge. They was selling out arenas back
They
then.
was selling out arenas, them big ass groups. Yeah, you remember that shit.
I do.
Yeah, shit, that's your time too.
That's when I had was the beginning of my hoop dreams, so to speak.
Had hoop dreams.
When I started having rap dreams, like, man, when I first heard Run, I listened to that concert on the radio in New York when he had everybody put their Adidas up. I heard that on the radio because they was playing it live on the radio.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I heard him the first time. He said, it was a lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my mother house. I was like, oh, this is God. I want to
He
be
was
like
a
him.
god, wasn't he?
I want to be like him.
What?
For him to get on stage
Run
and say that,
DMC?
that
Them
took a
leather
lot of
jackets?
nuts.
Yeah, them niggas was hard,
That
man.
This my house. Ooh. Run DMC, the first, they the Beatles of hip hop to me. You know what I'm saying? They took hip hop from being an underground art form to where, you know, kids in suburban.
They crossed over.
Yeah.
They crossed over big.
They walked this way and, you know.
Oh yeah.
King of Rock and all that.
Yeah. But but that was the thing. Run DMC had a fan base that was a street base before they even
100%.
You know what I mean? Them
100%.
Hard Times and all that shit. Man, we was listening to them joints. Them was hard. And they was talking about that shit. They was talking about the streets.
Talking about the streets.
Melly
it wasn't
Mel,
gangsters, but they was talking about the streets.
They was talking about the streets, bro.
Melly Mel, the Message.
Oh yeah, that shit was the streets.
Yeah.
Talking about the same shit right now. It's broken glass outside. I just seen some glass outside. Somebody dropped the goddamn bottle.
Broken glass everywhere. Pissing on the corner, man. I mean, my aunt used to be able to rap that.
They was.
No, they was
pipes.
They wasn't talking about crack. They was talking about the ghetto in New York where it was just trash everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what
broken
I'm saying?
Glass everywhere.
People pissing on the street. You know, they just don't care.
Yeah.
He was talking about how
Crush Groove when you was young?
I was too young to go see it in the movie theater.
You was too young
but
to see
I was
it.
able to see
it.
Yeah. My brother went. I remember when my brother went, somebody got that night at the movie theater. He came
Crush Groove.
At the premiere.
Yeah, Crush Groove.
Mm-hmm.
What about so you seen New Jack City? That was we were teenagers when that came out.
That came out.
Ooh, that was a raw one, man.
Yeah.
My you know what my daddy said, because I said, one thing I know for sure, them movies sent a lot of to prison.
Trying to think they can.
Yeah.
They need no Brown.
Walked out of that movie and went to prison. And my daddy told me Superfly sent a lot of to prison back in the day.
Uh-huh.
He said, man, niggas quitting their jobs and going to get perms and didn't know one thing about pimping. I mean, it just you know what I mean? That's one thing about
my
black
favorite
culture.
movies of all time.
God.
Mac is so cold. The Mac is so cold, man. I had a chance to sit and talk with Max Julian, man. He was so smart.
He was smart.
He was smart, but
hey man, what's going on, baby?
Yeah. He was talking about the making right there. The stories are so cold. And one of the things he said was that scene with Max and Richard Pryor, where they was talking about where
when they
robbed him. He was like, I don't know how a woman can get out there and, you know, sell her body in the cold. And Richard said, well, you know, that's because you one of the coldest, baby. I wasn't talking about me. I was talking about the motherfucker. He said that was all ad-lib. That wasn't no written.
Yeah, you can hear it, huh?
They just came over just talking that shit. And Max wasn't even a pimp. You know what I'm saying? He had just hung around the real pimps in Oakland and just soaked it up.
He did.
And then was able to do that role.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I thought that was just the cold in the world.
It was.
I figured they was just, you know, had paperwork, you know what I mean? It was reading off his script.
Yeah, Richard Pryor was one of them dudes too. He was, you can catch the magic of him when he was off script.
So cold. Richard was so cold, man. Are we ever gonna see that movie, man?
You know what, man?
Cause I always said if there was one comedian, one person that could play Richard right,
I'll tell you that. But you know what? His wife has the rights to the movie, and for whatever reason, man, the movie never gets made. You know, I always go back to God and say, man, you know. I remember my mother used to say, let my yes be yes and my no be no, and that said it in the Bible about things not happening. No matter how passionate you are, sometimes things don't happen for a reason. And I said, for whatever reason, I never did that movie and they never can make it. I'm going to leave that right there.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, God will tell you no. You know what I mean? One time I couldn't get my car started, man, and I begged my cousin to take me to a party, and I got locked up that night at that party, man. I said, that meant your car didn't work, that means you weren't supposed to go to the party. You went to the party, got arrested.
Forced it.
You know what I'm saying? And I tell my kids that, I said, you gotta listen to your first mind. That motherfucking mind
100%
is...
of the time.
Woo.
That's the spirit right there. That's the spirit. speaking through you and trying to give you a message, or your ancestors, that first mind. Yeah,
ancestors.
Cause I done been in those situations too.
We had to listen to it.
Well, I listened to it and it was the right time. You know what I'm saying? One of my friends, the first friend that I ever had got killed. I was living in Minnesota. We was at a house party in a homeboy's basement. And it was girls and it was all of us down there. My homeboy was DJing. We was drinking 40s. We was 16, 17.
Right.
And some said, it's time to go. And I just left. I left my homeboys and everything. I just walked home and I had a nice walk to walk to. And it was Minnesota and it was cold. And I don't know what it was. I just left. That night, my homeboy, Londell Miller, and I never, he was actually from Louisiana.
Rest in peace, Londell.
Yeah, he got stomach.
At that club?
At that party, at that house party. And I had left like 10 minutes before. And so ever since then, that was a lesson for me. Don't ever be the last one at the party. Always leave when you get that message. I do
that all the time too, yeah.
I leave.
I seen you that night after that. We probably left the same time.
Because when I get that message, you know, I was with.
It's time to go.
I was with my woman, and she know she could, cause she done been with me.
She feel you.
She seen her look. She
ready to go.
You
ready to go, right?
Cause she can see it. I go from having fun and then I get that message.
You ready to go?
I had enough fun.
It's time to go,
it's
man.
Time to go.
Let's get up out of here, man.
And most times don't nothing happen, but it's been
still got your
plenty of times where I left at the right time.
You dodged it.
Yeah. I left at the right time.
Smart boy, you smart.
Yeah, just listening to them whispers, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's real talk. Listen to the whispers, youngsters out there.
Yeah, because we all get them.
We all get them.
You know what I'm saying? We all get them, but we be, you know, ignoring them shit. You might be having fun. You might be having something nice over there. You plotting on like, I didn't get that number yet. You know what I mean? And, you know, it ain't meant for you to get that number.
No.
But you was DJing that night, Mike. How long you been?
I was DJ. You know what? I love music. I love music too. My mother was a music. My mother had crates and crates of songs, and she listened to a plethora of music. You know, my mother used to listen to Gino Vanelli. She listened to Chicago. She didn't just listen to black music.
Chicago's called.
Oh man, my mother loved, and the lead singer name was Peter Cetera, I think. My mother listened to a lot of Herbie Hancock.
My mama too.
Yeah. Come on, man. Our moms, they was from that era.
Yeah.
And that music, they appreciate that's how we end up artists, man.
Mm-hmm.
We had to be around something that.
Oh no, that's 100%.
Right.
I know for me, because
Yes.
my mama brought the first hip hop records home. You know what I'm saying? She was hanging out. She was still hanging out. And the clubs in New York, when they started playing hip hop, you know, it was like they remix. You know, when Sugar Hill Gang did that Rapper's Delight.
Yes.
You know, the record they used was already popular. Good Times.
Yeah.
From the group
Yeah.
Chic. Shout out to Focus. We had him on the show and he taught his
Oh,
daddy
yeah?
played bass on that.
Yeah.
His daddy played bass on
Yeah,
Good Times.
yeah.
Like they stole. He didn't get paid years later, but she brought that record home and, you know, turntable, regular record player. I would be playing that. You know what I'm saying? When she went to work, I'd be playing that.
What was you rapping before you met Pop?
Yeah. I mean,
You
I knew Pop all my life since we were babies.
since
you know
kids,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Our parents was tight.
What made you start? What was your first? Was Pac and them your first songs that you did?
No.
You did songs before then?
100%. My Uncle OG, you know what I'm saying? He was a hustler.
Yeah.
And when I was living in Minnesota, he heard that I could rap. I rapped for him one day.
Yeah.
And that was just like, you know what? You know what you gotta do? You gotta make a demo. I didn't even know what a demo was. I was like 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
And so he found, just being out in the club, he found this producer, this cat by the name of Ray Seville, who owned the studio. Ray Seville.
Out of Minnesota.
In Minnesota. Who owned the studio. And he took
Ray Seville. Shout out to Ray Seville.
Yeah, Ray Seville. Shout out to Ray Seville. I don't know if he's still alive, but Definitely.
He had a studio.
He had a studio. My first time in the studio was in his studio.
And you went up in there and made a song.
Downtown Minneapolis.
What was your first song?
It was called Check It Out. It was called Check It Out. Check It Out.
Don't you wish you could still hear that?
I do.
You can't find it, huh?
That shit, man. And me and Castro was visiting me, you know what I'm saying? And he was about 11 years old. And Castro was always like the one that would be like, man, you gonna make it, man. You gonna make it. We knew Pac was rapping too. You know what I'm saying? Because Pac and Castro was first cousin.
Yeah.
And so Pac was always rapping. You know what I'm saying? He was always doing something creative, acting, rapping and shit. You know what I'm saying? And he used to hype me up. He was like, "You better than Pac."
So did you know him when he did When My Homies Call, that album?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what was the album? Strictly for My was before that.
For my, but no, that was Apocalypse Now was first,
and then Strictly for My.
When My Homies Call was on Tupac Now.
Yeah, that was his first one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And K is the reason Pac knew I could rap, because K was kicking my raps like they was his for Pac. And then he finally told Pac the truth. He was like, you know, them ain't mine. Them mouth. And he was like, them mouth. Tell Mouth to send me some music, you know what I'm saying? And I was about 16 and I went in the studio, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna lie, true story. Me and my homeboy, we sold a little studio time. You know what I'm saying? The homeboy had a studio in his basement.
Hey, you had to
studio time. Yeah. And so I got a double up from the homeboy, and we made $100. And talk about being a terrible. I got robbed the first time I sold.
Double up.
Yeah, we bought a double up. $50 and made $100. Took that $100 and went to the studio. I made about 5-6 songs, and K was rapping on one. And I sent the cassette to Pac, and Pac heard that cassette, and then he hit me and said, "When you graduate high school, you can come to Oakland." You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna put you on. And I went to Oakland as soon as I graduated. I went to Oakland 2 months later.
Wow. And where did
Mutar and Gaddafi? Mutar came in a little bit later.
How did he meet them?
Well, Gaddafi's mama, who's from Jersey, you know what I'm saying?
Was Gaddafi rapping too?
Gaddafi was rapping, but he ain't really want to rap. Gaddafi wanted to, he wanted to be a hustler. That was his thing, you know what I'm saying? He ain't about rapping.
And what about the other one?
Pac wanted him to rap.
The bald head.
Who?
Hussein.
Gaddafi and Hussein was best friends in Jersey. Hussein was like,
so how did he connect all y'all like that?
It
just formed anyway, some kind of way?
It's a cold story, man.
That's cold.
It's a cold story that I'm writing, but we was all connected in different type of ways. You know what I'm saying? And Gaddafi, I like to put it like this to make it simple. Gaddafi was responsible for the Jersey part of the Outlaws, because that was all his homeboys from Jersey.
Yes.
And me, Pac, Gaddafi, and Castro, we all grew up together. You know what I'm saying? Our mamas and daddies was all friends from before we was born.
Yeah.
And so we just put it together, you know what I'm saying?
Gaddafi
brought us homeboys from Jersey, and then we just came together, and that's how we became a crew. But we had all met each other at different times. Like before Hussein was even in the group, I had met him because we would go to Jersey and hang out with Gaddafi, you know what I'm saying, in Jersey, to get out of the city.
Was Hussein rapping then?
Yeah, he was like the coldest rapper in Jersey. Like Tretch and Redman and
all.
That they knew about fame.
They just went and grabbed all when Pac just started.
Yeah, because I was Gaddafi's homeboy.
He just started.
First time he met Hussein Fatal came to visit him in Clinton. You know what I'm saying? And rap for Pac when he was in Clinton. And then
he said, I gotta have that idea,
man. Pac wanted to put together like a super group. He already had us. You know what I'm saying? We was Dramacidal. We was on the Me Against the World album.
Dramacidal, yeah. Dramacidal, yeah.
And so, but he wanted to put a super group together, like the Wu-Tang Clan, like with all the best rappers we could find. You know what I'm saying? But Mu kind of came before that, because Pac heard about his story, about his parents.
He was raw.
And Gaddafi
Irvington. Shout out to Mutar, man, my brother.
100%. 100%. I wanted to bring Moo up too.
Love Mutar,
because
man.
you did something real dope for Moo, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. You know.
I know, Mike. The Pac fans need to know this shit, man, because you a real one, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Family,
you did something super solid for Moo in his documentary, man. And I know Moo is always grateful to you for that, man.
I love him, man.
Yeah.
What a intelligent, smart
businessman.
Oh, he's a hell of a businessman, and he is. That's why I haven't been over there to Saudi with him, because he's powerful. He been in turn. Next time you see me, I'll be looking like Bill Ladd. So, bro, I told him I ain't fooling with you because you been in turn me all the time. I ain't fucking with you. You know, but I said that to say, the brother is very, very powerful and a strong guy, and his story is incredible. I've always honored him for being able to survive and still have the mind that he have after the things that he been through. You know, shout out to Mutar, man. One of
100%.
the strongest brothers that I know. One of the smartest, strongest guys that I know.
True story. True story. That's my brother from another right there, man. And I'm gonna switch gears real quick because we're gonna wrap up. But one of the questions I wanted to ask you was, has anybody stole a joke from you before? Because I heard about comedians stealing jokes from each other. Have you ever caught a comedian stealing jokes from you?
Yeah. All these little motherfuckers around here stealing. But you know the thing. But you know the thing about
because niggas steal raps too.
They still rap. Yeah, they still raps all the time. You know the thing about that is that I take it as endearment. I never looked at it as. I hear people say that they kind of confirm that I said the right shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
they confirm greatness.
They do
when they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if they still a one-liner, it's like that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I think, especially when I see young dudes do it, I'm like, everybody got to start somewhere.
Right.
And you know, I didn't took it from Richard Pryor because in my mind I was like, he's too old. Ain't nobody gonna know about that. But I'm gonna tell you some crazy shit. I never could tell it like that. So I just stopped doing it all the way around the board. I said, when I realized I had my own life and stories, I'm like, I don't need to tell nobody else's story.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? I got my own shit.
Yeah. Is
to trust in that.
In your opinion, is that the GOAT of black comedy or just comedy period?
Oh yeah, Richard Pryor. From what I think about comedy, Richard Pryor, hands down, because he really did shit to the mind when it came to drawing pictures and painting and taking people on journeys and. Excuse me. Even though Bill Cosby was incredible at doing it as well, but Richard Pryor spoke to us when he did it.
No doubt.
He spoke about the people we knew.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand a lot of the Bill Cosby's characters, but Richard's. I'm talking about my parents.
Yeah, my mama had that album. That nigga.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I used to play that album. When she was at work, cause she ain't like me touching her stereo, but when she, you know, this is why I'm a rapper, mama. Cause when you left the house, I was showing up on that stereo, and one of the records I was playing, cause they used to put comedy albums out, man, the whole comedy album. You know what I mean? That nigga's crazy.
Yeah.
The first album, he was saying some shit. I felt like I was watching, like Richard was so raunchy and so raw. It was almost like watching a porno. You know what I'm saying?
Was.
Because you listen to that shit, and you hearing shit. Like this nigga talking about pussy and all kinds of shit.
Oh yeah. That's why people got in trouble for listening to it. Because it was too visual.
Yeah.
He just wasn't talking.
And his stories made you see him. He was so cold, you could see what he was talking about.
Yeah. You could smell the ass and everything. I could smell the shit talking about that.
Richard was definitely cold, man.
Yeah, man.
Mike, I appreciate it, man. This was dope.
Thank you, man.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. Much respect to E.D.I, man. Shout out to Outlaw Films. Shout out to Outlaw Television, man. And thanks again for having me, man, on another edition.
Nah, thank you, man. My guest, ladies and gentlemen. That was dope.
Let's get a flick.
Yeah.